and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Side to Side Sportscast, where it's your boys, Will, Woody, and CJ. And you know, we come to break it all down from the court side, the ring side, the sidelines, and for those sports they play outdoors, we outside, we side to side. That's how we ride. And today we got someone special riding with the Side to Side family. You may know him as the 2006 NBA draft pick, Craig Smith, a.k.a. Rhino, on the cast with you boys. What's up, Rhino?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How you guys doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Hey,
man,
thank you for hopping on.
Thanks for hopping on, man. We truly appreciate it.
Welcome.
It's my pleasure, man. It's my pleasure. So you got a McGrady back there on that wall, man. That was one of the first jerseys I ever got. It was actually a reversible jersey. When they had reversible jerseys, I thought I was the freshest with the pennies, with the penny twos.
Oh yeah, dude.
Junior high, you know.
Oh, I had all those. I had all those shoes with the square toe, right? You remember those that he had? Yeah. I got my jersey collection, of my McGrady's in my closet, taking up too much space. My wife loves it.
Man.
You know.
Listen, that's awesome. And hey, to all of our viewers and listeners, we also want you to check out Craig's podcast, The Underdogs. You want to say a little something about it, Craig?
Yeah, just check out The Underdogs. It's myself, Mike Taylor, former NBA player, and our guy Jordan Daly. We're just putting some things together on the Underdogs perspective, and it's been a good start. 6 episodes. It's been going really well. Some pretty good guests. So. Just want to continue going and just continue to inspire the young generation.
You got Mario Chalmers this week, is that right?
Yeah, we got Mario Chalmers this week. You know, we got a 2-time champ, so that should be a really good episode. Just trying to get other guests together so we can let our fan base know what's to come.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like you've already had guests like. I know Ricky Davis was on there. You had George Gervin, the Iceman. I mean, you've had some pretty awesome guys to chat with on there. And I guess, hey, here's a great segue, right? You play with some of those guys right now on the Big Three squad. So let's dive in and talk a little bit about that. Like, how's life in the Big Three been?
Big Three's been fun. My first season was real fun. Didn't know what to expect. We came in and just wreaked havoc. It was really cool. It felt like we were back in the show. If everybody doesn't know, when you say the show, you say like the NBA, the atmosphere, the smelling of the popcorn, the walk into arena, the fans embracing you, the travel first class again, So it's a lot of similarities in the Big Three compared to the league. So it's just refreshing of that. And then, seeing old familiar faces, guys you competed against in the league and, still got the competitive spirit to go out and play the game. So it's really been fun. It's been, a great ride and can't wait for, the third season for myself coming up.
You going to be getting Jared Dudley? You bringing him onto the squad or what?
I don't know if Dudley wants to hoop, man. Dudley's a big time coach. Yeah, he's a big time coach now. So, he gets to tell Luka where to be at in certain spots.
Living the dream in his own way, definitely.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I won't take all the questions away from Gaddy and Woody too, but I want to talk about you as a fan, right? That's why we wanted to have you on today, and a lot of people don't get to know the insights of like, hey, we know Craig the athlete, he was balling, he played in the NBA, he's with the Big Three now, like that's cool. Like, let's learn about you as a fan. Like, who are some of the guys that either you follow now or you followed growing up, and your favorite teams?
Well, I mean, I was born in Inglewood, the city of champions. So for me, it's always going to be Lakers and Clippers. I'm not biased. Like, I watched both teams growing up. I wasn't on that, just because they win. Like, at the end of the day, I love players. So for me, it's always Magic Johnson, Big Game James, Lloyd Vaught, Rodney Rogers,
Oh, there's a name.
Yeah, Bernard King, Charles Barkley, little bit of Wes Unseld,
See
Will
some
Chamberlain's
similarities, right?
dominance. Yeah,
You like
like
those.
I
You like
mean,
those big boys because you were powering
yeah,
down low too, right?
yeah, being a student of the game, like understanding the game, and not only that, just positions. Otis Thorpe, Hakeem Olajuwon's footwork, um, Michael Cooper's defense, um, Cedric Sabalas, the way he attacks the rim, he's good around the basket.
I mean, the one
Pig Miller, like guy, guys that aren't as known in the league. Like I watched all of them because like you had to do something to be there and to get there. You had to do some type of greatness. So let me see and watch what instills you to be great. And let me add some of this to my game, especially as a younger guy. Let me add some of this to my game so I can go out here and make it. Like that was the inspiration for me, like being able to be an observer. Like people don't understand you observe and watch, you can learn too. You can learn too, and you use that a part of yourself and put your mix on it. You know, I think that's very important, especially from the young generation.
Oh man, you're probably still learning, right? You got George as a coach right now, so yeah, he's
man. I mean, that guy played with Jordan. Like
unbelievable to think about.
He could have had the scoring record. We could be talking about him being Mr. 100 points or 80 or 90. Like he had 63 and set the fourth.
Listen, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. No, I have no disrespect towards the Iceman. That guy. I mean, if you watch like back in my day when ESPN Classic was out there, right? I would come home from school and throw that on and listen. I'd just be seeing him fly, right? Like he was past his time, right? It felt like he just the way that he played the game, helped evolve it. So I'm just saying, it must be awesome to play with him. Ricky's a little older, he's probably still learn from that guy too. I don't know how high his jets still fly, but you seen him
it's
throw
just
it down.
It's just as pretty high. He can still throw it down. I mean, he's changed his ways. He's vegan now, so he got superpowers. You vegan, you get superpowers. So
all right,
he's out there still high energy, and what you love to see, like the passion, the love for the game. It's never going to go away, and what sucks is sometimes our time gets cut short, but now we're realizing that there's more longevity within us.
There is
Just being honest, and now you see it in different schemes. You see it with LeBron, you've seen it with Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's something that we can see eye to eye on, right? Aren't you a Pats guy too?
Yeah, man. I've been a Pats fan since the first day I watched Tom Brady in a cold ass Worcester dorm. Sorry, in a cold Worcester dorm, and Drew Bledsoe got injured. Bledsoe got injured that game. Tom Brady came right in. I've watched every game after that. Yeah. Like I got to write a story to him. I felt like because I was just a 17-year-old kid. I know he's about to win the Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl. For real. And for LA guys, we're abandoned because they like to come in town and leave, like our NFL teams. Like a deadbeat dad. There's no loyalty. There was no real loyalty. There was no real loyalty.
What were you doing in a Worcester dorm?
I went to prep school in Worcester for a year.
Worcester Academy, right? Yeah, because all right. So I went down the street at Bancroft, and that's and you played? Wasn't there the you guys had a big game against McCants, right? Rashad McCants.
Yeah.
And that
myself
game was
and Jared Jack.
That's right, Jared Jack in post grad there too. That was and I like this was way back in the day for me. I was 7 or 8 years old, right? And it was the hype train of just like prep school. These dudes are about to do battle. Rashad McCants was a huge name at the time, and I can just remember it. It was crazy. It was crazy in that house. That night.
I mean, it was Rashad McCants. It was Luau Dang. It It was Charlie Villanueva, it was myself, Jared Jack. I mean, we have some guys, man. We have some guys that can go. And that, I would say, in that year actually changed my life going forward, because it made me more competitive in the classroom at Boston College, where I was really like competitive versus my peers in there now, and not feeling some type of way like, I'm about to hoop. Like, now I'm about to actually go in here and learn something and let y'all know how smart I am, because y'all always got this knock that basketball players are dumb. I'm sick of that narrative. Like, I want y'all to come out here, go to class, learn all these plays, travel, and then learn the defensive schemes. I want y'all to do that. I don't think they could do that. So it's just like, I never could understand that narrative. I can do my work and I got to do this work over here. I got 2 jobs. Y'all just got one. And then y'all go, well, basketball players get it so much easier. What? You know, how did you guys get it so much easier? Good.
No, even at D3, you know, I couldn't even handle, like, I was trying to play basketball and baseball, and I picked up basketball for half a year and was like, nope, it's too much. I can't. I'm better at baseball. I get more PT in baseball.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a full workload, man. I respect that for sure from a D1 level.
It's very demanding and very time consuming. You know, if you're an athlete, you really go in there for basketball first, school second. So you got to take like your priorities. Like, it's not like your timing is very like, practice here. We got lift at 6 a.m. I got 9 a.m. class. Got to make sure I got 9 a.m. class and maybe like 11:30 class. Then after that, I got some time, right? Maybe get some lunch, wind down. Then we got practice. Now after practice, this is the kicker. And this is different from a mentality. I'm still gonna go get work in at night. I'm still gonna go get that graveyard shift working. My job really don't stop. It's not a 9 to 5. This thing is 24 hours. So in my mind, we still got to get better. So me, Dudley, Sean Marshall, Lewis Hennig, John Oates, we in the gym at 8 p.m.
And that's why you made it to where you did, right? Like that hard work, that extra work, all those shots that other guys aren't getting up that you are.
Yeah, because I mean, for me, it started when I was younger, though. I used to hop the gate at like Fairfax, like 6:30 in the morning.
Yep.
But for my mind, I was still behind.
But that's the mentality you always have to have, right? There's always
I'm behind. New York, 3 hours ahead.
Yeah.
London 7. You feel what I'm saying? London, that's
about 40 degrees colder, right? And about 40 degrees colder. You learn something about playing in the cold. Going to Minnesota probably was not a big deal for you after playing in BC, right?
No, it was colder. How about that? It was colder. Because you think about it, like we're on the water in Boston, so it's different. But this is like Canadian coast, northern, like it's frozen out here. It's real Frosty the Snowman.
You need a passport for that cold. I feel
you gotta walk through them skyways. I remember one time I think I dropped some water, like immediately froze. Said, nah, bro, you can't be out here more than 3 minutes. It's over. And being the spoiled guy I'm from California.
I was just about to say, how stoked were you when the Clippers
came? I am a privileged person when it comes to weather. You feel what I'm saying? And like I can't tolerate it. Like I'm gonna throw up a fit.
So that Clippers call was just like more ways than one. Just
I mean, it was
were there other offers out there, or were you just like, I want to go home?
Nah, well, I think prior to that, or the year before, I could have went to San Antonio. I could have went to San Antonio. Yeah. That was when I was really thinking about, because I was like, man, if I would have got with Pop and could have played with Tim Duncan, I probably could have got another one, like a ring. Like in that sense. Because for me, like you already got rid of KG. That's what I really wanted to play with. Like that was what I was playing for. And then you got rid of KG, and it was just like we got all new guys. We're just competing against each other. Like people don't understand, when you get a really young team, your practice is gonna be really, really hard and long, pause. And then you're gonna have to go in a game and compete like that too, because for one, in practice, you got to compete against each other for time.
Right.
Because nobody got the given time, like the seniority, as if you got all stars on the team. Like here, this is set up, this is set up, this is set up. This when you got young guys and everybody's competing, who we gonna throw out there? Who deserves this? We gotta see it in practice.
Right.
So then you got that, we killing each other, and then we got killing the game. Wow. That's a double battle. A double battle.
I just want to say I grew up a Phoenix Suns fan because Charles Barkley, we the same age, by the way, right? Charles Barkley, I grew up in Philly. And the first player that I ever got to meet was Charles Barkley. So when the Sixers traded him to Phoenix, they traded me too, right?
Yeah.
So growing up, right, I've always been a Charles Barkley fan. And then obviously Charles Barkley career came to the end. Now, at the time that you were getting drafted, because I'm a college basketball fan too, in 06, I was actually hoping that the Suns drafted you because we had a late pick. And I'm like, man, Craig Smith, he could play that big man. Because if you remember the Suns roster at that time, they had Boris Diaw. Outside of Amari, he was their biggest player. And like he had Matrix, but I know it's D'Antoni offense. I didn't like Matrix playing the four. I'm like, we need to add another big man. And you were on the board. And they took Sergio Rodriguez and traded him for cash considerations, right? So I'm like,
trading him for a washing machine.
For real though.
For a washing machine. So I'm like, watch, man, Craig will be killing. And I think it was like your second NBA game you were playing against the Nuggets, and you gave them 20. And I'm like, see, man, they messed up, man. That's one of the main things I remember about your career. But how did it feel? Like, when you started, like you just talked about how you had some options at the end of career, but what about the beginning of your career? Once you got drafted and once you got on the court in Minnesota?
So originally I thought I was going to Milwaukee.
Okay, I was just going to ask you if there was another place.
Milwaukee said, So sorry, before the draft, Milwaukee said they would take me if I landed at 39. I could have went from, I think it was 19 to 39, or maybe even below, but I had a wrist injury, so I wasn't able to fully work out. Okay. But I knew, like, man, I'm a first round. My energy, my confidence. So, what happened? So then, I get picked by Minnesota. I get there in August. I'm excited. I ain't see KG yet, but I see his locker. I'm like, damn, this is real. Like, this is a real life 2K moment. Like, I worked so hard to get to this moment, and now it's here. You get on the court, we're just waiting. It's like real quiet, and all of a sudden, it's almost like this dude got a microphone, like the way he yells, and he's like, "All right, MFers, y'all ready?" Like, he coming out of the door, he got to duck through the door. I've never seen nobody had to duck under the door with their head with a hoodie on. It's like the Grim Reaper. It's like, "Oh, y'all MFers ready?" And I'm like, "Yo, we just playing pickup, but this energy is like OD." You know what I'm saying? And Mikhail's over there, and I love Mikhail because, like, to me, Mikhail's voice, sometimes he sounds like Macho Man Randy Savage. So when that happens, he's like, "Oh, brother." Oh man, let's get it going, brother. Let's get it going. And from then on, I felt like I gained a lot of guys' respect. KG continually taught me, and then it was just like, wow, I could really play this easy. So mind you, before the season starts, like a couple of days before, Coach Dwayne Casey comes up to me and is like, "Man, we really like, we like what you're doing, but we want to let you know we're gonna send you down to the D League." And I'm like, "What? To the D League?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm just messing with you." I'm like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "You really gonna pull that on me?"
KG gave you a shout out too recently.
Yes,
I forget what that was on. I was watching, and he was talking about how he Showtime. That's right. Yeah, and he was talking about how he was helping bring you up in the NBA and all that. I thought that was really cool because obviously, I was a fan. I followed BC basketball, from the days of my dad was, went to school there, played baseball, and so I just followed BC because I through my days I always wanted to go there, and then he's just watching guys like Dana Barros go through and make the NBA. It was so rare to see like a good BC basketball team, right? And then you get Troy come in, and then it's like, okay, Troy's good, but like he needs somebody else there, and then Rhino comes in, and Dudley and Sean Marshall and Sean Williams, right? People forget Sean Williams was a beast in the paint too. Like
Sean Williams, man.
And what was it Rice?
Tyrese Rice.
Yeah, like he was a shooter too. I mean, they had some
the EuroLeague god. He's a
right.
EuroLeague
Yeah, I mean, he's still putting up points out there. Like, but that, like, I'll tell you, I was excited, and I honestly thought you were going to go first round. I was hyped because the Celtics had, they needed help everywhere. They were looking at, they took Rondo in that draft, and that ended up working out all right for us.
It worked out all right.
So I'm not going to sit here and complain about it, right? I'll admit, like, this was my worst moment as a sports fan, my worst prediction. I was so mad that they didn't take Marcus Williams out of UConn. He looked like a player, right? Yeah. He was a tall ball handler who could shoot, like, and then they took Rondo, who I'm like, he doesn't have a jumper. What are we doing out here with this guy? And I could not have been more wrong. So I'll fall on my sword with that one. But still, that's, it's funny. Talking about some of this stuff because Troy gave some different perspective too on what it was like coming into the league, and how he's living out in Minnesota in the tundra, so he's enjoying that every day.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. I'm going to steal the master of segues, right? So we'll go from the court side, to the sidelines here and talk a little bit about the Pats before the NFL comes back. We got me and you sitting here as Pats fans. I know we both joined that bandwagon back when Brady started. I was at the same time. I can remember the very day that I became a Pats fan and saw and was just like, who's this guy Brady coming in? Like, geez, we're screwed again. It's gonna be a bad season. We're gonna miss the playoffs. And all of a sudden, takes off and history is made. All these years later. But now, Mac Jones, what's your take on him? What's your take on the Pats for next season?
Well, first, let's do this the right way. Yes, I follow Tom Brady. Okay. Yes, I follow him, and I will never root against Tom Brady, ever, ever. All right, now Mac Jones.
The record is set straight. Never rooting against Tommy.
Never root against Tom. No Tom slander here. Mac Jones, for one, student of the game, wants to get better, right? Had a great rookie season. Obviously, you're going to have some learning moments. It's a rookie. You can't expect him to be Tom. That's a different beast. Like, and just to go on this note, because of guys like that, we think winning championships is easy. Like with Jordan, with, what I'm saying? But we got to remember, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh only got 2 rings.
That's true.
It's very hard to win a championship. Now, saying that going forward, we have him, and he's going to be great with caliber. We need to put more weapons around him.
Definitely.
So need better offense and get him more friend where he can throw the ball, because we've seen examples of him throwing the long ball, but sometimes then you get the Buffalo game where he makes 3 passes. Like, all right, he's a rookie and all, but like, we got to get some things going, man. We can't be afraid of things. And Bill, I think, he's the wizard. He's Obi-Wan Kenobi, He's that guy that sees everything, or Yoda. Is he Yoda? Maybe Yoda.
I won't lie. I've never seen Star Wars. I don't know. He could be Luke Skywalker for all I know.
He's got a weekend ahead of him. He's gonna have to tune in.
Oh, is that bad? Oh, my bad.
Hey, what you doing, man? Sci-fi, man. Star Wars, man. Great stories.
My bad.
We got Mac Jones entering year 2, and Joe Burrow in his second year just took the Bengals to the Super Bowl. Now, I personally feel like there was a little gift wrap there because that Ryan Tannehill performance with Tennessee, if Ryan wasn't giving Cincy the ball, Tennessee probably would have advanced. But that's besides the point. Here we have Mac Jones in his second year, and like you said, they just need a couple weapons around him because the Patriots did a lot better than most people would have expected with a rookie quarterback, and it's because of Obi-Wan Kenobi, a.k.a. Bill Belichick, who really got that thing together. So what are you looking forward to most this offseason as a Patriots fan?
I'm looking for some off-season adjustments on the offensive end for sure. We need a number 1 receiver. I love what Kendrick Bourne did, but I think we need a little bit more. He's a great addition, him and Nelson Aguilar. But at the same time, we need somebody who can, I can get open every play. I need a guy we need that guy. And we don't have that guy yet. And that's what was frustrating to Tom because sometimes it's just like that's what was needed in the Patriots offense sometimes. And I get it. We went through the years of different guys, and Julian Edelman was the number 1 guy one year. But at the same time, you need that guy that's like, look, 3rd and 3, 4th and 1, 4th and 4. Give me the ball. I'm gonna get open. You know,
like we didn't even need that number one. Like Edelman, like sure, he could be a good number 1. Your number 1's not normally your slot guy, but we had Gronk, right? So Gronk offset all that.
Exactly.
And then it's like Kendrick Bourne, pretty good season. Nelson Aguilar, still not anything that
we can't disrespect Hunter Henry and
Johnny Smith.
John Smith.
We got to understand that the Patriot system is a little bit tough, and everybody's not going to get it the first time around because it's a different system.
Oh, he's back. I think maybe might have lost a little audio there.
Okay, you hear me? Sorry. Yeah, somebody was trying to call me.
Yeah, no worries.
What I was saying, I think
we were just talking about Pats, and
you were talking about it's a tough system to learn from Hunter Henry.
Yeah, so for all the new additions that they got.
Yeah, it's very tough to learn, and some can't just pick it up like that. You know, it's going to take a while. But what we did see was from beginning to end, it was so much better. Obviously, the playoff games, forget about that. But from beginning to end, you've seen the guys get better. You've seen Hunter Henry start scoring more touchdowns and like led the league, tied for the league with tight end touchdowns. You know, you see Jonnu Smith out making plays when he wasn't injured. You see things really coming together where they was the number 1 team in the AFC. So there's a lot of things going forward that looks really good. Our defense is always going to be stout defense. But then at the same time, I would say we do need an offensive coordinator because that Joe Judge, I don't know if I'm feeling that. Sorry for cutting. Sorry. But it makes me passionate a little bit. That's the fan perspective. Now
there it is. Yeah, exactly. And but the name that's been floating around now that you is Calvin Ridley, right? Like I feel like he'd be the perfect guy for the Pats.
Have they been saying that? They've been saying that?
They've been attaching his name to potential if the Falcons end up trading him, they feel like the Patriots would be a logical destination.
I don't know, because I've been seeing the Jets. That's what I've been seeing Ridley on the Jets. I actually just ordered a jersey Ridley in that Gotham green. So I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. If I'm Ridley,
look, I'll tell you what,
if Ridley goes to the Jets, his career will be done short. Okay. I'm sorry.
Why would you,
but the Jets ain't done it right.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
telling
Joe
you
Namath.
I'll tell you who would be a good addition for the Patriots. I'm a Cowboys fan, and it looks like they're going to get rid of Amari Cooper. It looks like he's going to be a cap casualty, and there would be no better place for you. Talk about you need a receiver that can get open every play. That's Amari. He would fit in.
True.
He would fit in great with New England.
I want to steal Debo. I don't care. I want to steal Debo.
Right?
I want Debo.
Yeah, everybody wants Debo.
I think all of us on this chat and every sportscast out there want Debo on there.
Yeah.
Debo, please come to my fantasy. Debo, come to my fantasy.
No, you have a better chance of talking to him than we do. So if you get the chance, let him know New England wants him out here. We'll take him.
Hey, we're gonna say
I'm gonna let him know. I'm gonna let him know.
We're gonna say Debo for sure.
Amari Cooper is a great suggestion.
I thought Gaddy was going Gallup.
It is.
I thought he was going with Michael
Gallup
Gallup.
just for his ACL, and he may do the 1 year guaranteed contract thing.
Mm-hmm. What were you gonna say,
I'm
Craig?
gonna put this filler out. Chris Godwin could be a possibility too.
Man, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
he would be sweet to have on this squad too. But
that guy's good.
He is, and he gets open. Like he's a consistent,
great suggestion.
Yeah, route runner. Like
we need some. Bottom line is Pats need a number one option, right? We got plenty of 2s and 3s on the roster. We don't have that ace to go to right now.
Ridley's probably not on the list though, because he Gotham Green. I'm telling you. You heard it here first, Calvin Ridley.
Gotham Green.
Okay. All right. Well,
who's your quarterback? Who's going to be your quarterback next year?
Zach Wilson. He's pretty solid. He's pretty
back
solid.
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
I'll tell you this. Zach Wilson was the only other quarterback other than Aaron Rodgers to finish the last 5 weeks without an interception. He was playing some quality football with nothing around him. I mean, he was pretty much throwing to people that look like me out there.
Yeah.
So, give him somebody that looked like Ridley.
After all those turnovers at the beginning of the year, he should have learned something. Right?
Oh my God!
I'm just saying.
I don't think Zach Wilson's going to be bad. I think he might have had. He didn't really have, he had better weapons. I think he had better weapons than Mac Jones did.
I mean, it's
not at the tight end position.
He did not.
It's tough when you're a small town guy and you go to a big time city and play.
Definitely.
That's different. It's different when you put on that jersey when it says a New York or LA. Like, it's different. As you can see with the Lakers, it's different. These people at you in the stand.
Yeah, I mean, you went from playing in Minnesota.
Just like a Knicks fan. A Knicks fan would be at somebody in the stands too, though.
That's a fact.
Like big time city.
Definitely.
I mean, like yourself, you went from playing in Minnesota to playing in LA. I mean, that must have been you were probably used to LA culture and all that, but for somebody who wasn't, it's got to be a culture shock, right? Going from one aspect to the other.
Oh, it's definitely a culture shock. Like I'll just say, from going back to school, in Boston, leaving from LA, going there, and it was like a blizzard. I'm like, bruh, I'm not going to class. I'm not even stepping outside. What is this? What material is this? Like, what is black ice? What is black ice?
You got to watch out for that out here.
Like, come on. You got to watch that. The sleet. Oh, the sleet that mess your whole fit up. You can't even go out, and that's what I'm saying. I had to have a prepared fit just to get messed up, so my nice fit wouldn't get messed up. You know that. You say, hey, look, and you step in one and it gets deeper than expected, you're hot. Right? It's like 3 inches and your foot in there. Like, oh my God.
But no, it's most important. You got to make sure you bring
in California,
pair of shoes for sure.
Yeah.
You
gotta have your Timbs.
Yep, exactly. But let's so I know we could gas the NFL out a little bit. There's not a ton of news going on, so I want to go back to the court side. Yes. Let's go back to the court side and talk about this NBA final stretch, because what people don't realize is after the All-Star break is not like halfway through the season. You've got like a quarter of the season left, right? So this is
go
it.
time.
It's coming down to it. And like some people think it's like the middle of the season. It's not. Like we are hustling towards the playoffs right now. And there's a couple of teams making moves. My Celtics are finally actually figuring things out. These things go like the West Coast is we thought the Warriors were going to be the squad, to beat again for a while there. And the Suns, obviously Gaddy's Suns were up there. And now we've got Memphis who's hanging out in the mix. And Lord knows what's going to happen in the East. I think 1 through 8 is separated by like 5 games, maybe 6 games. So I'm just wondering what your take is and how you think things are going to shake out and what you see, what cream is going to be rising to the top in each conference.
So the East Coast Conference, this is the most competitive it's been in a while. Just up and down, top to bottom. I really like how the Chicago Bulls are playing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't sleep on the Bulls in the playoffs. They're going to be a tough matchup.
Yep.
Because they can play that small ball and probably put DeRozan at a 4 or something. What you going to do with that?
What are you going to do with that?
What you going to do with that?
You're going to lose. That's what you're going to do.
He keeps putting 35 plus.
Giannis. Yeah, even though Giannis and them have had, like, I would say kind of up and down due to the championship, you know what I'm saying? Because they, been trying to figure some things out, making some key additions and different things like that. But I think they're still going to be around. We need to see what Ben Simmons looks like for me to completely talk anything about Brooklyn, and let Kyrie play in New York at some point, because this is just getting out of hand. I love LaMelo Ball. I think he's one of the dopest young players. One of my favorites. I always thought he was the best ball player. No disrespect to Lonzo, but there was just something about LaMelo. I think for me, having his experience already kind of in the league through to his brother, having success overseas and different things, and then coming into the league already caked up, still hungry. That's a bar to me.
That's true. That's a good point.
That's a bar.
Yeah, he's something different.
And who can beat Miami's zone defense? I don't know. Miami has one of the best zone defenses, and they're really good at home. Like when healthy, like they have already been to the finals, and they're still a really young team, so they can sleep. They can sleep somebody. So it really goes on who gets matched up in the first round and who has home court advantage a little bit. Like that's how it goes for me in the East. In the West, the Lakers need to go meditate and then come back and then really figure it out. Because you really got the talent. I don't know, man, because it's just, for me, it's all about effort. And I seen a play yesterday. Don't get me wrong, I love LeBron, but like I know you didn't get the ball, but that wouldn't stop me from being aggressive on the play, because I still feel like there could have been an offensive rebound to get, or something with a loose ball where we can make something happen. I know people get caught up, and sometimes in our mind as players, we get caught in positions, this MF didn't give me the ball or this, and sometimes our body language drops. And sometimes that's not a good sign, because that'll rub off on everybody else. And then you have that issue. So for me, it goes more effort from them guys. And I think everything will be fine.
Well, it would help if AD
they'll get back in there.
Right? Is that a Vogel problem?
Well, AD got to buy a leg. I want to help AD out so bad, because I think he needs to do different exercises in his body to create him from not being injured as much. I don't think he's doing the right necessary techniques that he needs to do, because there are certain techniques that you can prevent injuries. And I don't know if he's necessarily doing that.
He should call Tom Brady, do the TB12 method, do that avocado ice cream, and
call Tom or tell him to call a Rhino. Call a Rhino too.
Okay, on that Rhino training program, dude. Let's do something different. He's got to change something.
Right.
He keeps doing the same
I want I want to ask you about this, Rhino. It's something that you just said, right? When you talked about LeBron and you talked about the effort, right? Obviously LeBron's 37 years old, so he's playing and he's older. But I noticed when you age in the NBA, people think your physical gifts are going to deteriorate. And even though LeBron is defining time, and it doesn't seem like his body is really breaking down that much because he still does some amazing things, it seems like his mentality is deteriorating. And that, in my opinion, is a bigger problem than even Frank Vogel because he's supposed to be the leader, you know. And right now, you get a LeBron James he's barking back at fans. You get a LeBron James that's, you know, he's not really hustling after the loose balls, and it's just chaos with the Lakers right now. And it doesn't seem like LeBron has that gear like he used to. Now he just dropped a soundbite recently. He said, "You got to stomp me out, cut my head off. As long as I'm here, then we still got a chance." You know, how much are you buying that?
I'm buying it a lot because playoff basketball is a different game, first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
And then secondly, just the fact of when you're older, certain things change. We seeing what's going on in the war with Putin, right? That dude's pretty old. He doing some different stuff when you old. You feel what I'm saying? Like LeBron doing stuff he wouldn't do in his younger years. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, now you done got the old man mad. Like, the old man mad. Watch out, old man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you doing different antics and different things. But yeah, I'm gonna still be confident because, and regardless of what you say, playoff basketball, you gotta slow down.
Yeah.
You gotta play half court basketball. Gotta actually have a post player. Gotta shoot mid-range jump shots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the mid-range is key for playoffs. Everybody knows that. They're gonna run you off the line. You gotta make a mid-range shot. You gotta make a lot of mid-range shots in the playoffs. Like, because people are so detailed. We watch film of you. We know exactly what you're going to do. How are you going to differentiate yourself? What do you need to do? You need to go through the whole play exactly. See, that's what sometimes like players or the fans just don't know about that. When people watch you and watch film, they know all your tendencies, right? So when you're a guy like Kobe and you see these things like, oh, this dude is still scoring, like, this is not easy. He has to actually do everything he's worked on. That means he has to walk up to the elbow. He has to put his foot on top of the other guy's foot, pop out, L out. Now he got to L out. He got to stay in triple threat mode. All while this is in his mind, right? Triple threat mode. Going from triple threat mode to say, hey, this is how the defense is playing me. Now I watch film too. I know how the defense is going to play me. Good defense plays me like this. So now I have to improv, right? I'm going to set it up. Maybe I jab. Maybe I showcase the ball. This is a good defender. What is this defender known for? This defender's known for watching the ball. So maybe I do something with a ball fake. Or this defender loves to play angle. So let me give him a jab over here and fake him out and set him up so I can go to the middle and maybe spin backwards. Like, more in-depth stuff, you know? So, I mean,
Student of the game
this game is the mentality is really, really deep. And sometimes, like, the young guys, they don't understand that. But it's like, if you dive deep, like, for me, for example, whenever I see a game, right, and they come across half court, I'm like, what player are they in? Most fans would be like, you know, who are they going to pass it to score? But me, I'm like,
Right.
what is this simulation right here? What's going to happen? Oh, that was a nice backdoor screen. Okay, the energy is going up pace now. You know, like different things like that, like to be able to see the energy's up pace. So they're going to need to sub some guy who's going to be able to match that energy with the flow to maybe to play defense and score with that pace going. There's so much.
Yeah,
Right.
see, this is why it's nice to get guys like you on, right? Because getting that perspective and understanding the game and, like, you know, in the deep end, you know, like that's why, you know, sometimes coaching and coaches in the NBA, I think don't get the credit that's due, because putting the pieces in with the right personnel and mix and matching the right guys in different matchups is key. And also being able to manage those personalities, right? Because I mean, you might even be able to talk about I'm sure when you came in, you can't talk to KG the same way that you talk to Craig Smith when he walks through the door as a rookie, right? I mean, there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
So I can totally respect that. And it was that thing that you said the Lakers need to go meditate. I say they need to do a lot more than that, because it's like they just need it. To me, it just looks like a disorganized, unmotivated basketball team that can't figure it out. And we talked about it on this show a little bit when Westbrook joined the fold, and it was just kind of like this already, without them even being on the court together yet, already feels like it's going to be an awkward fit. It almost, their games just didn't seem to like they would collaborate well on the floor. And so I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is a problem that can be fixed for the Lakers going forward, but I don't want to trash on them.
I mean, I'll just say this.
LeBron, after all, right?
No.
It is LeBron.
It's LeBron, so you can never disrespect him and get into the playoffs, because the playoffs is a different scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And two is just this, like, I know for me, sometimes I didn't get caught up in the team energy of things. And so even if we were losing, you would see in my effort that I'm trying to win. And sometimes that's what you need. You don't need to talk. You just need to go out there and do it. If I see somebody, if you see me going, I just scored. Now I come back, I get a deflection, I dive out of bounds trying to get that ball. You're going to feed off my energy from that.
Yeah, oh, hell yeah.
That energy is going to transcend to my teammates. All right, I see you out here trying to get it and sacrificing yourself. I'm a sacrifice too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got to rile your guys up sometimes in other ways, just versus verbally.
Yeah,
I'm a big firm in actions, because actions sometimes speak more than words. Straight up, you and your actions, you show what you do. You can show people respect and hard work just by putting your head down and getting to work. And I think that's just what needs to be done. It's just like, stop talking about it. Stop talking to these fans, because these fans been doing this for a long time. And I'm sure they were worse in the 60s and 70s. I'm just being honest.
I can imagine.
Racial slurs. I mean, there's probably still racial slurs now, of course. But I'm sure they was on level a million back then.
Definitely.
Because there was no filter then,
That's actually
you got to just remember, you put on the.
Oh no, my bad.
It's like, no, it's like you put on a Laker jersey, that's different. Just like when you put on the Celtic jersey, it's different pressure.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't like putting on a Sacramento King jersey. You know what I'm saying? It's not. A Laker jersey is a different deal. Yeah. And it comes with a lot of pressure. And I don't know if them guys knew about that. You know what I'm saying? Because the last time we really had something like this would just be Mamba and Shaq. Mm-hmm. And they knew how to handle it. But this is a new era with social media. It's a little bit different.
Well, you remember, I mean, Dwight Howard couldn't handle it either when he went in there with Mamba. He was supposed to be the new Shaq, right? Like, let's just put Shaq with Kobe, but in the form of Dwight Howard. And it was just different.
But it also takes time, though. Like, even Shaq and Kobe, they didn't immediately gel. Like, it was 4 years. It was 3-4 years before they actually, won a ring. I mean, this type of thing takes time. I think people now are just so impatient.
Yeah,
I actually think that what the Lakers need, and
they have 2 or 3 years,
they need a leg. They need to give AD a leg.
But they don't have 2 or 3 years. That's why people are impatient, right? Like I mean, LeBron isn't.
Hey, he need an AI leg though.
That's what I'm saying. AI robot AD. I mean, LeBron is here and he's waiting for Bronny. You have time. He's waiting for Bronny. Bronny, that's years. That's years.
I think one of the things
better. That's my point. They're
good.
good.
One of the things that surprised me about the Lakers, because speaking of needing time to develop, is this team last year that they had Montrezl Harrell, they had Dennis Schroeder, they had Alex Caruso. And then this offseason, the only three people to bring back from that team are THT, AD, and LeBron. And then next year, the only people that are going to be under contract are those three and Westbrook, So, like, you got to keep putting all these pieces around, and you don't have that time to go through that gelling process and really becoming the best team you could be. I really think that was something that the whole organization slept on this offseason. Like, hey, we can just bring in a brand new team, and we're not going to lose in the first round. And it looks like they're paying the price for it. What's your thoughts on that, Rhino?
Well, yeah, I think like you needed more important key pieces. I think you should have really seen who fit and gelled with Bron and AD more, who can give them a boost. And not only that, it's just like, like it's like you got to save for a rainy day. This dude be injured all the time. I got to get some insurance or somebody who can give me at least half production if he's injured. Well, LeBron, like, who can we give him to pass it to so he can score? Because sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I love the additions. Let's be honest. I love Malik Monk. Malik Monk's been a great addition. Reeves has been a great addition as a spot up.
But these are shooters, right? They need more shooters.
Reeves. I'm
shooters. Saying like you put.
I think you still need an aggressive big too, though. You need an aggressive big who you can be like, yo, I can get a bucket too. You need guys who can be more playmakers as well. Like if LeBron gets off the ball, I can either shoot it or I can go make another play. Not just staying here and shoot the three. And then it's just like, for me, if I was playing with Bron, I wouldn't care about all that other stuff. I'm going out there to hoop. I'm scrapping. I'm a dog. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like that dog mentality. Everybody ain't got it.
That's true.
To just say, I know Bron on the court, but I'm gonna show him why he need me on the court because I'm about to do all these different things.
It's more scarce now than ever. This is a little off topic.
Don't be scared. You got to step up to the challenge.
But I just want to say, because I feel like a common theme of our time, like we're talking about like the mentality, and I love it. I love, like, Rhino, you like Socrates out here, like the philosophy. You've been breaking it down, like literally from each stage of life. Like, yo, this is a mentality I was on. Like, college, I was in, doing this, and I had to go to class. Like, and now we're talking about it on the NBA. Like, it's just, mentality makes a difference, and unfortunately, I think the league, I think those dogs, they're few and far between. John Morant might be one of them, though. I'll tell you that right now. Those Grizzlies.
Oh, John Morant. Oh, man. AI 2.9? Okay, he's AI with a 70-inch vert. Like, did you see that dunk the other day? My God. Was that last night or the other day?
2 nights ago.
It was last night.
2 nights ago. The buzzer beater, he like caught like the buzzer.
Alley-oop jump shot.
Oh yeah, the buzzer beater with
Steven Adams. Like
Adams, a full court pass.
Will come and dunk on your big man. He will come and dunk on your big man straight up.
He's the guy who's
straight. Ain't got time for it. Like, I'm gonna come in and just straight dunk on your big.
He's got that like Vince Carter mentality. Just like, where's the biggest guy here? All right, I'm gonna go.
But as a point guard, see, Vince was 6'6", 6'7". This dude is 6. Yeah. And he got the look. I ain't even gonna lie. This is the dunk I used to do because I always felt like it would, like, in the positioning, it would throw the defender off. So when I take a dribble with my left hand and then jump like this, there's no way the defender can do anything. He's helpless because it's unexpected. when you take a dribble with your left and then you automatically turn your body and jump like this with your right and dunk. I used to do that all the time. I used to do it at UCLA. And UCLA used to be the epic center where us 15, 16-year-olds would go and play against the pros. See, people don't understand, like, that California lifestyle, like, we had an advantage always. We got the beach. I always say the beach is an advantage. Like, I had a Tiger Apollo Creed. Beach is an advantage, straight up. Not only that, then having to play against grown men when you're young, that's a bar. Young fellas, you want to get better. I understand about trainers, but hey, I made it to the NBA without having a trainer, keeping that a buck. One thing I did do, I played against older men, and I played against a lot of guys who I felt like were going to make me better and stronger, being league guys and college guys. Then I go back to high school and beat up on my peers.
Yo, I'll tell you, like that's no joke. Like even from the most watered down level, like when I was a freshman and I was going out for the basketball team at Salve Regina D3, I went back after training and trying to play ball in college to just shooting hoops and practice with the high school guys. And it was just, I mean, it's night and day. Like, you know, so that is one, could not be more true. I wish that somebody gave me that advice when I was growing up, right? Don't be afraid of the big guys, go play with them, right? Like that's definitely sound advice. But before we get way too off the NBA topic here, we'll go from one side of LA. Let's hit the other because your Clippers, right? We have so many question marks with this team right now, right? It looks like a Where's Waldo book with the amount of question marks. I can't find Kawhi anywhere. I can't find PG anywhere. We don't know when they're coming back. Tyronn Lue.
You don't need to right now. You don't need to.
Tyronn Lue doesn't know when they're coming back. It's like, but you and so like that's what I was gonna ask. Like, you know, the team isn't in disarray, right? So what do they do? You know, what are your expectations this season, and what do you want to do this offseason to, you know, if anything, or do you want to roll with what you got?
Well, one, everybody just needs to, I think, and what the fan base is, everybody's calm. I know we want more, but you got to understand this. With Kawhi, we're probably NBA champions last year. And with him now, we're probably a top 3 team. And him and Paul George fully playing. So since we know that, and we're still developing the young guys and we're still in the playoffs, there's really nothing to be ashamed of. Because now, once those guys come back, and if they come back next year, that team's going to be fully loaded.
Yep.
And now we made some key additions to where Zubac is really getting his shine on now, you know? Got Ibaka out of there so we can, you know, give the other nice big a play too. And then my guy Terrence Mann, it's my favorite player. Terrence Mann's my favorite player.
Yo, let's not forget about the other Eagle out there. Don't forget about the other Eagle out there.
Oh, yeah.
Reggie Jackson.
I will never forget Reggie. Oh, you talking about Reggie? I will never forget Reg, man. He's a bucket getter. And I'm always proud of my BC guy, you know. But Terrence Mann to me is more of an underdog story. Mm-hmm. Reggie, you're not an underdog, okay? You're a beast. You feel me? So you be cool. But Terrence, you know, he didn't get a lot of opportunity because of Kawhi and those guys. And then when he got that opportunity, showcased himself and made himself better from in the playoffs into this year. So he's been a great addition. Like I said, Luke Kennard's been flaming.
Love that.
They're beating teams now. They're beating teams.
I'm a big Kennard guy. He was my pick
Philly
point contest. I'm a big Kennard guy. I like his. When the Celtics needed shooting, I was like, go out and get Kennard. The boy just shoots. That's what he does. Like, and he's shown that. And you know, I think they have an interesting roster. You know, and just kind of reflecting on what you were saying, it's those two being out is giving the opportunity for the rest of the guys to kind of step in and show what they got too. That's why it was a leading question into the offseason, right? Like, if you want to do anything, if you want to touch the roster, is there anything that you would do, or you think the team's going to fly high with what they got?
I think they'll fly high with what they have because we got two of the best two-way players in the game. When they're healthy, I mean, come on, that's hands down. Will we make some more additions? I don't think so because I feel like we got a good unit. Could we use another forward maybe? But I mean, when Nikolai come back, so they're all here. And it's just like, yeah, it's unfortunate, but injuries happen. But at some point, that team will be fully loaded. And once they're fully loaded, I don't really see nobody. I mean, they run LA already without the stars. And that's a sad thing to say to the Lake Show. When you got all your players and you losing to a depleted team who wanted more, that's just effort. That's just effort.
Like you said.
And I got a completely, I guess it's not completely off topic because it was a Clippers question, but this is mostly, I just had to pick your brain on this while we got you on the show. So you were part of the Clippers team that featured DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin. Who is the better in-game dunker? Looking at him as a teammate, who made you wow more? Who made you?
More? In the beginning, it was Blake. It was Blake because Blake was just taking off, right? And he was getting the opportunity because DJ wasn't getting it then because of Chris Kaman.
That's true.
So DJ was coming off the bench. Me and DJ would be off the bench. So we were the bench bros. We was the MLB squad,
Yeah.
So that's what I would say with that. And like Blake had broke his kneecap due to jumping so hard. So and I got to see those dunks in line when he dunked on Mozgov. It was so nasty. But that's when I said I had an epiphany then. When he dunked on him, I had an epiphany. I was like, oh snap. This whole Clipper thing is about to be OD now. It's about to be outrageous. I swear to God, I was like, yo, this is about to be outrageous now. After this dunk, and I seen it. Gene Simmons start coming into the game. Charlize Theron's there. Everybody's coming now. Even Sterling coming into the back room now. Yo, what's going on?
Just one dunk changed the game, right? Just to change the life of the Clippers.
Lob City,
for sure. And listen, we don't want to take up a ton of your time. I know we were trying to stick to the hour here, but I definitely want to make sure that we get the word out right to the kids, and we've been talking about what you did in college and how you remain focused and all that, but if you could give one word of advice to even the teenagers or anybody else out there who's trying to make it to the NBA and has those aspirations to do what you've done, what advice would you give them?
I would tell them to believe. I think that's the most important thing at first is believing within yourself, because you got to put everything together. For example, when I started believing in myself, I started going to Fairfax, working out 6:30 in the morning. People started seeing that. Then people started telling me and reaffirming me that, hey, you're actually doing a good job. So it was believing, manifesting. At a young age, I would always tell myself, I can be in the NBA. I want to be in the NBA. So it was just I'm telling, and then I'm going out and acting. But this is what I'm telling the young generation is, get on it. You have the opportunity of a lifetime. You can actually start your dreams now. You don't have to wait until you get into college or anything like that. And I think that's why it was so special for me, because it's this was something I thought about when I was in elementary. It's the power of the mind. You can do really anything you want to, and it bothers me when some people don't really grasp that, because I'm a testament of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I did was think about that. So if you do it and whatever you want to do, you can do it. Don't matter how old you are. I'm 38, I still got new goals that I want to do, and I know I'm going to do them. Mm-hmm. Keep positive in your mind. Don't let negativity bring you down. Let it fuel you. and always prove the people wrong who said you can't, because you can. You can.
Absolutely.
Wow.
You heard it from the Rhino himself. Believe in yourself. You know, that's true. And we're trying to believe in ourselves here at Side to Side too, right? So, hey, man.
As you are. Y'all doing it, though. No trying. You doing it.
Hey, I never thought I'd be
Appreciate
talking.
that.
I never thought I'd be talking to one of my favorite athletes, right? So we appreciate you coming on, man, and you know, another shout out to the Underdog podcast. They got a new thing going over there themselves. Had some awesome guests. I've been tuning into that show and looking at the posts and all that. And hey, one of their lead hosts, a Boston guy, represent. Appreciate that, the man Daly out there. So so I'll give that shout out too. But yeah, any final words from Gaddy or Woody? Any final questions? Before we let the man, the myth, the legend go.
No final questions. I just want to say, Craig, Rhino, man, listen, you blessed us with your presence today. We certainly thank you, man. We will be tuned in to the Underdog podcast for sure. And hey, man, we appreciate you, man. Maybe one day in the future, love to have you on again when maybe there's a big event coming on and hear what you got to say about it. But I especially love the message to the young folks that you put out there. You can do anything you put your mind to. You just got to go after it. So, you heard it from the man himself. And thank you for that.
Definitely. That literally touched me, So definitely appreciate your time, your insight, getting to know about, Rhino the fan as well as the pro. So yeah, thank you for being side to side with us.
Yeah. And hey, me and Woody both got young boys. I got a 3-year-old. He's got a little guy under 1. So we'll be playing. I'm gonna be playing this video for him someday, Craig, and I'm gonna be showing him and letting him know, like, hey,
play it. We're gonna be playing this video, and not only that, I do got a children's book coming out soon.
Oh,
so I want to let you guys know that.
Yes,
got a children's book coming out soon. So
we're gonna
be that plug too. You let us know. We'll put that on S2S and let people know.
Please, yes.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
absolutely.
It's been another exciting episode of the Side to Side Sportscast. We want to thank our guest, our boy Rhino, for coming through side to side with us and representing. Hey, we still want to hear from you. We want you to come on the Sportscast. We want you to call it how you see it, call it how you saw it, call out those who didn't see it how you saw it, represent what you think about what's taking place in the sports world. And until we see you, we out.